Hello, can you hear me? Uh, it's my honor to have an opportunity to present my work in front of you. My name is Kangwon Lee. I teach at the Department of Communication Engineering of Tech University of Korea. And the purpose was to save time and provide more timely feedback to my students. So, if I may talk more about myself, first of all, the university that I teach is located here, name is TU Korea. And about myself, I first met Python in 2004. It's about 20 years that I've been using Python. And last time I counted my CV, and I learned that I have been teaching Python for 17 semesters. But I'm still learning how to teach better, how to use Python better, and also having a good opportunity of learning more about how to use Python here in the PyCon.KR 2024. I'm mostly interested in solving math problems using Python, and last year, 2023 PyCon.KR Latin talk, I had a chance to present my numerical method repository, which is located at GitHub. So please feel free to check the repository. So today I'm going to talk about how I could use GitHub, Python, pytest to grade my students' assignments. So the agenda is like this. So let me first talk about the GitHub Classroom, how it works, and the issues I have encountered. And to resolve, then the GitHub also made some answer to those issues, which was the fork-based repositories. And also, I myself have prepared the countermeasure, which is one more layer of the test. And then let me talk about the conclusions and the future. So let me first start with the GitHub Classroom. So GitHub Classroom can automate assignment distribution and collection process. It is known that URL is like this, it's classroom.github.com, and based on the instructor's templates, you can distribute the instances of the repositories to students. And the students can submit their homework by committing their changes to each repository. And I can use the GitHub Actions CI/CD infrastructure to grade the students' homework. And actually, this is not just limited to the Python. You can use other programming languages, but in my case, because I was teaching Python, I was using for Python really. So this diagram shows how the GitHub Classroom works. First, the instructor creates a template, and then using this, the instructor creates an assignment at the GitHub Classroom. Before that, for each section of the class, the instructor is supposed to make an organization for each section. When the assignment is created, the GitHub Classroom will give the instructors the invitation link. Then, the very important step is the instructor distributing the invitation link to the students. And once the students get the invitation link, they can accept the assignment. Then what happens is, GitHub Classroom will make the repository within the GitHub organization for the section. And here, and after the repository is created, of course, the students can have access to their individual repository links. With the, of course, when they have repository link, they can start committing their code. And once their code is submitted, the repository, if arranged, will run the CI/CD framework, and the workflow results will be provided to the students. And of course, the information will be provided to the instructor as well, and also GitHub provides summary tables with such repository results. So the instructor is capable of keeping track of how many students were accepting the assignments, and how many comments each student was making, and how many of them were passing the test, and how many points each student is getting, for example. This is a sample of the repository structure. So of course, the GitHub workflow folder has a classroom.yml file, which will dictate the procedure of CI/CD process. And the important files, well, two of the important files here are the test scripts that I used pytest to create. For example, I can also make a start points. For example, if the assignment is like 5 points, I can give 2 points to the syntax and 3 points to the functionality, which test underscore result.py file will be tested. And git ignore license is also standard files. And then this code, my code here, is, for example, students can make changes to this file and then submit their homework here. And, I try to emphasize this readme.md file, which will be including the important instructions for the students. This one is, in fact, one of the most important files, because students will have to be able to get all the important information from the readme.md file. And of course, the requirements, the text file has to be including all the important modules to run the tests in the student code. And this is another file that I included. So one of my policies is to enforce students to commit functions into their assignment files only. So I provided with a sample file that includes the how to use the function in a Python program. So everybody should know, but let me go through the process of what happens after the commit. Once the students commit his or her code into the repository, the GitHub will first check out the code from the repository, and then it will configure the environment. And for example, it will run test syntax and test result files, and then the results will be collected by the GitHub Actions, which are like GitHub CI/CD apps. And then these GitHub Actions will be passing the pass or fail information to the reporter table GitHub Action. So this reporter GitHub Action will be reporting to the GitHub Classroom so that it can generate the summary table. So the issues I encountered were, once this important step happens, which is distribution of the invitation links to the students, if there is any change required, it is almost impossible. Before I distribute the link, I have more freedom to make changes to the templates and the repositories. But once there is the distribution of the links, then if I found out that I wrote something incorrect about the assignment at the readme.md, or if I have missed some modules in the sample.py file, or my test files were running some incorrect tests, all the cases I sometimes have to make more than 40 repository pushes manually, and of course, sometimes the conflicts were possible. So, GitHub now has a fork-based distribution option. So, let me tell you about the GitHub's answer to my issues, which was the fork-based assignment repos. So how it works is, nowadays in the GitHub assignment, GitHub Classroom includes a fork-based upstream repository, and the student repositories are forks of this repository. So when I find a typo, I can commit to this upstream repository, and students can choose to sync their repositories to update their repositories. This makes my job much easier to make changes after sharing the invitation links with the students. So conceptually, if we can go back to the previous diagram, what happens was, after I create an assignment, the GitHub Classroom will make this fork-based repository here. This is a separate repository from the template, and students' repositories will be generated as forks of this repository. So when I make changes, when I want to make changes, I can just push the changes to this fork-based repository, and then the students will have an option to merge those changes into their repositories. So to explain the commit branching procedure, I made some diagrams. First, instructor, which is me, makes a template like this. And then the instructor releases the template, which means the creation of the assignment. And then when each student accepts the assignment, each repository is created as a force of those fork-based repositories. And the students will start working on the repository. And thankfully, the students started the assignment early on and made changes. But one of the things I noticed is the importance of continuous monitoring the student progress. When students are making many comments, still the test result is not passing, that can be a sign that something may not be running correct. So the instructor noticed that some change was necessary, for example, to the test code. Then the instructor can push the test to the fork base. And then using the GitHub's UI like this, there is a button that will allow them to merge the upstream fork changes into their individual repositories. However, on top of that, I wanted to make my own countermeasures, which is monolayer tests. So basically, here my product was the template repository for each assignment, and from there, each student's repositories are created. And there's a pytest plugin, which is pytest JSON report that will make a JSON report of the pytest results. And includes like how many times the test was running, and what was the pytest log that was generated, and whether each test was pass or fail, something like that. And so I wanted to make those assignment template repositories better. So I made those pytest generated JSON reports. And whenever I make changes to the template, I wanted to make sure that it is running correctly, running as expected from the JSON report by comparing with the JSON report. And one of the things I noticed here is there are so many repositories and a number of layers that was going on here. And this was an opportunity to discover the importance of naming within the code. So, for example, I added the layer of the owl on top of the canary. Here, the canary was the template repositories for the assignments, which is my club. And the students' repositories, I named them as X. So, what I think was, this is a good knowledge of canary giving birth to the X. And then the owl will be guiding the canary to be the good ones. So, and this naming convention, in my case, has helped me a great deal to organize my thoughts. So, if I can describe how, if I can describe the test setup of my canary, so training camp, supervised by the owl. So here is the assignment template, which I call canary. It contains README, it contains pytest, also contains the startup code. And this assignment tests will be injected by test case codes, like test case 00, case 01, case 02. And some of these test cases can be coming from the previous year's student code or from my imagination. And then, using the pytest and the JSON reports module, I generate the result JSON files. So, after these result JSON reports are prepared, I can compare them with my reference JSON report files, and then evaluate whether the pytests and the README files are as expected. And then, if there's something not correct, then I can make changes to the assignment template so that my canary is going to the right direction. So, the conclusion of my talk is like this. For me, the highest priority was the final user satisfaction, and in my case, that was the level of the satisfaction for my students. And thankfully, the pytest and Python and GitHub, I think those were quite helpful. And then I wanted to make sure that the quality of the code was assured before being released. And also, the naming convention that I introduced, which are the owl, canary, and egg, helped me to conceptualize and organize the thoughts. And for the future work, I was going to employ a large language model as a teaching assistant, giving feedbacks to each student's assignments, moments. And in fact, I have recently released a GitHub Action that is using the Google Gemini to give feedback to each student's assignments. Also, GitHub also has a Copilot feature, which is an explain error feature. You will be able to find this button in the GitHub's Actions tab when you go into the CI/CD log, and it will generate it will try to generate explanations for it. And but you may want to check the international support feature there. But the big question is still remaining. in the age of the large language models and artificial intelligence, how will I be able to prepare my students for the futures? So that's a big question I'm still looking for the answer. And that concludes my talk. And if you have any questions, please thank you very much for your attention.